So, Armenia, you've probably heard of it. Maybe. Perhaps you associate it with a particularly potent brandy that could strip paint. Or maybe a certain family that dominates your television screen, for reasons still baffling to many. Fair enough. But let me tell you, there's a bit more to this place than strong drink and reality TV dynasties. This is ancient land, proper old. We're talking millennia, not just a few centuries. It's a place where history isn't just in books, it's in the stones, the mountains, the very air you breathe. Armenia was the first nation to officially adopt Christianity, way back in 301 AD. While other folks were still figuring out which god to appease that week, Armenians were already building houses of worship that would outlast empires. These aren't just quaint village chapels, mind you. These are fortresses of faith, clinging to mountainsides carved out of sheer rock. For a country with such a monumental past, a lot of its treasures are playing a rather successful game of hide-and-seek. It's like they've got these incredible world-class historical sites and then they've just sort of forgotten to tell everyone. Or maybe they told everyone and everyone was too busy watching cat videos to listen. Either way, the result is the same mind-blowing history, often enjoyed in glorious, splendid isolation. This isn't your typical tourist trail, all neatly packaged and signposted to death. This is something else. It's a bit raw, a bit untamed. But what you find at the end of that slightly inconvenient journey, well, that's where the magic happens. Right, so we've established Armenia has churches, lots of them, old ones, important ones. So why, in the name of all that is holy and historically significant, are so many of these architectural marvels practically empty? You'd think places that have stood for over 1,000 years, surviving everything from earthquakes to invading hordes, would be crawling with people. You know, the selfie stick brigade, the I was here checklist tickers, the earnest students of history. But often you'll find tumbleweeds. Metaphorical ones mostly, sometimes literal. Is it a marketing problem? Did they forget to hire a decent PR firm back in the 10th century? Or maybe it's the locations. Some of these places aren't exactly on the way to the supermarket. They demand a bit of effort, a pilgrimage of sorts. And let's be honest, modern humanity isn't always big on effort if there isn't a Michelin star or a gift shop at the end of it. Perhaps it's the sheer number of them. It's like being at a buffet with too many choices. Or, and here's a thought, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe this relative obscurity is what preserves their magic. Let's talk about Geghard. If this place was anywhere else, say Italy or France, it would be mobbed, absolutely overrun. You'd be queuing for hours, shuffling through roped-off sections and paying a king's ransom for a lukewarm coffee afterwards. But here, nestled in the Azet River Gorge, it's a different story. This isn't just a monastery built on a mountain, parts of it are carved out of the bloody mountain. Imagine the sheer audacity, the back-breaking labor, the unwavering faith it took to hew chapels and chambers from solid rock. The main cathedral dates back to the 13th century, but the site itself is older, steeped in pre-Christian history, a place of sacred springs. They say the Apostle Jude brought the spear that wounded Christ on the cross here, hence the name Geghard Monastery of the Spear. The acoustics in these rock-cut chambers are something else. A single voice can fill the space, resonating with a purity that sends shivers down your spine. It's like the mountain itself is singing back to you. So why isn't it on every top 10 places to see before you die list? Good question, maybe it's too real, too raw. It doesn't come with an interactive app or a celebrity endorsement, it just is. A testament to human ingenuity and devotion, standing stoic and magnificent. Then there's Tatev. Perched on a basalt plateau overlooking the Voratan River Gorge, this place is dramatic with a capital D. Getting there used to be a proper adventure, a winding, gut-churning road. Now, they've got the Wings of Tatev, the world's longest reversible aerial tramway, a 5-kilometer glide over the gorge. Sounds impressive, right? A modern marvel to access an ancient one. You'd think the hordes would be descending, clamoring for a ride and a glimpse of this 9th century monastic complex. And yet, while it's certainly more visited than some of the truly forgotten spots, it still doesn't quite get the global fanfare it deserves. This was a major scholastic and spiritual center. A university, for crying out loud, in the Middle Ages. Imagine, scholars and monks debating theology and philosophy, while outside, the world was a rather more brutal and less enlightened place. Tatev should be a household name for anyone interested in history, architecture, or just jaw-dropping scenery. Instead, it remains a slightly underappreciated gem. Noravank. Now this one is a stunner, pure and simple. Tucked away in a narrow gorge surrounded by towering brick-red cliffs, the setting alone is worth the trip. The name means new monastery, which is a bit ironic given it was founded in the 13th century. The journey there through the Amagu Gorge is part of the experience. The road winds, the cliffs close in, and then, bam, there it is. A vision in honey-colored stone against that fiery red backdrop. The star of the show here is the Serb Astvatsatsin, or Holy Mother of God Church, also known as Bertolashen. It's a two-story marvel with a ridiculously narrow stone staircase cantilevered on the outside leading to the upper floor. Inside, the carvings are exquisite. The play of light on the stone, the silence of the gorge, it's all rather potent. It doesn't shout for attention, it simply waits, confident in its own timeless beauty. Deep in the lush forests of Diligen National Park, you'll find Hagardsen. If Noravank is all about dramatic, sun-baked gorges, Hagardsen is its cool, contemplative cousin, shrouded in green. The drive there is lovely, winding through ancient oak trees. You feel like you're entering a different world, a quieter, more mystical realm. The air is cleaner, the light softer. The complex itself, dating mainly from the 10th to the 13th centuries, consists of several churches, a refectory, and various other buildings, all clustered together in a clearing. But it's the overall atmosphere that gets you. The way the ancient stones, often covered in moss, blend with the surrounding woodland. There's a sense of peace here, a feeling of having stepped back in time. Yet despite its accessibility and its undeniable charm, Hagardsen still feels like a bit of a secret. It's as if the forest itself conspires to keep it partially hidden, a reward for those who seek it out. More serene contemplation for the rest of us, I suppose. Now, Sanahin and Hagpat, these two aren't exactly unknown. They're UNESCO World Heritage Sites, for crying out loud. That's like getting an Oscar in the world of old buildings. They sit on opposite sides of the Debed River Gorge in northern Armenia, close enough to be considered a pair, yet distinct in their character. Built between the 10th and 13th centuries, they were hugely important centers of learning and spirituality. Sanahin, meaning this one is older than that one, referring to Hagpat, presumably after a bit of monastic one-upmanship, is a sprawling site. It boasts several churches, chapels, a library, an academy, and even a scriptorium where manuscripts were painstakingly copied. Hagpat, equally impressive, has a commanding position with stunning views. Its Church of the Holy Cross, Serb and Shan, is a masterpiece of Armenian architecture, with remarkable frescoes still visible. These places should be heaving. But here's the rub. Even with the fancy UNESCO plaque, they don't always get the footfall you'd expect. Perhaps it's their location, a bit off the main tourist circuit that tends to hug Yerevan and its immediate surroundings. It's a strange paradox. You get the international recognition, but you still retain a sense of discovery for those who make the journey. So, what is it about these Armenian monasteries? Why this consistent theme of stunning beauty and historical weight being met with a collective global shrug, or at best polite niche interest? Perhaps it's a national trait, a certain stoicism, a quiet pride that doesn't feel the need to shout its accomplishments from the mountaintops. Even though many of these monasteries are quite literally on mountaintops, maybe it's the neighborhood. Armenia is tucked away in a complex part of the world, a crossroads of empires that's seen more than its fair share of drama. Perhaps the headlines from the region, often focusing on conflict and geopolitics, overshadow the quieter stories of cultural heritage. It's hard to compete with breaking news when all you've got to offer is a 1,000-year-old church, no matter how breathtaking it might be. Or could it be that these places demand too much? They don't offer instant gratification. They ask for a bit of your time, a bit of your imagination. You have to engage with them, to listen to the silence, to feel the history in the cold stone. In an age of fleeting attention spans and constant digital bombardment, perhaps that's too big an ask for many. But let's be selfish for a moment. This magnificent oversight, this grand global blind spot, is a gift to the curious traveler. It means you can experience these wonders without the suffocating crush of crowds. You can find moments of genuine solitude, of real connection with the past. So there you have it. A glimpse into Armenia's hidden world, its silent sentinels of stone and faith, places that have seen it all, endured it all, and still stand, waiting. Waiting for what? Not for your approval, certainly. They've been around long enough not to need validation from the likes of us. They're waiting, perhaps, for a flicker of understanding, A moment of quiet contemplation from those who bother to seek them out. It's a challenge in a way. Are you up for it? Forget the glossy brochures for a minute. Forget the curated Instagram feeds. Go find the bumpy roads, the unexpected detours. Ask a local for directions. They might even offer you a coffee or something stronger if you're lucky. Get a little lost, because it's in those unscripted moments, in those slightly inconvenient journeys, that you find the real stuff. The stuff that sticks with you long after the holiday snaps have faded. The memories that actually mean something. Don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect it to be Disneyland with ancient monks. This is real history, raw and unfiltered. It might make you think. It might make you feel small in the grand scheme of things.